Hello everyone. Hope you all had a great week. I'm Shakir. Welcome back to the channel on another episode of Sports. Today, I'll be reviewing IPL 2021. IPL 2021 concluded on Friday, 15th of October, with CSK beating KKR in the finals by 27 runs to lift the trophy. It was a delight to watch Captain Dhoni lift the trophy and, in his captain cool way, hand it over to the junior members in the team. Since I'm a huge CSK fan, I'm dedicating this episode to MS Dhoni and CSK, and I'm also wearing the CSK jersey. I'm going to review each team which played in the tournament, pick a few top players from each of the teams. So I'll start from the best team. I'm going to start with the team which won the trophy and go all the way down to the team which finished 8th. So let's jump right into it. First up is the champions, Chennai Super Kings. This is their 4th time they are winning this tournament. They have only one behind Mumbai Indians, who won it 5 times so far. CSK are the most successful franchise in the history of IPL, having reached the finals on 9 occasions. 2020 saw CSK's worst performance as they didn't make it to the playoffs for the first time in the history of IPL. Dhoni did mention they will come back strong, and man, did he keep up his word. Even though CSK were pitted as the dad's army for the very high average age of the team, they made experience count and showed it matters. I would give them a team score of 9 out of 10. The top players in CSK were number 1, Rudraj Gaikwad. What a player he is transforming into. He won the orange cap this season, scoring 635 runs in 16 matches with an average of more than 45 and a strike rate of more than 136. He scored 4 50s and 100 in the tournament. He is the second player to win the orange cap and also end up in the winning side. The first occasion was Robin Uthappa in 2014 for KKR. He scored his maiden T20 100 against Rajasthan Royals, 101 not out. That was a classy innings. His ability to get in with a strike rate of around 80 plus in the power play and then accelerate later on has been a great asset to the team. He has great potential and will be a great prospect for India in all 3 formats. Next is Faf du Plessis. The South African is an absolute legend. He proved his class once again, missing out on the orange cap by just 2 runs. He gave great starts to the team in the India leg of the tournament. He had a couple of hiccups in the UAE leg, but came back really strong. He scored 633 runs in 16 matches with an average of 45.21 and a strike rate of over 138. Next is Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Dhoni is in the list for a sole reason, his captaincy. He wasn't among the runs, but his captaincy, the way he used his resources, is the main reason why CSK won the tournament this year. Even though he doesn't seem to be in the best form and the explosive batter he used to be, he did make the difference in qualifier 1 against Delhi Capitals by scoring 18 runs of 6 balls to take the team home. MS will always be Tala Dhoni in CSK. Special mention in CSK goes to Ravindra Jadeja for his all-round performance, Moeen Ali for his explosive batting in the India leg of the tournament and also in the finals, Deepak Chahar for always picking up wickets in the power play, and Shardul Thakur for the knack of picking up wickets. Next up is Kolkata Knightriders. They finished 4th in the league stage but played some great cricket in the playoffs to make it to the finals. Since the introduction of the playoffs, only once the team which qualified for the eliminator went on to win the tournament. So the odds were always against them. But with the performance in the UAE leg, if any team had to win the tournament, it should have been KKR. That's the exact words of MSD during the finals presentation ceremony. They had to win 5 out of 7 games in the UAE leg to make it to the playoffs, and they did just that. Winning the eliminator and qualifier 2 makes it 7 out of 9. I would give them a team score of 8.5 out of 10. The top players in the team were Venkatesh Iyer. He has been the find of the tournament. What hitting and confidence he uses. He's definitely a player to watch out, similar to what Padikkal was last season. Iyer scored 370 runs in 10 matches at an average of 41.1 and a strike rate of over 128. He played some great innings, scoring 450s. But the only minus was he got out when he could have gone for much bigger scores. Hope he works on it and gets better next season. Next is Varun Chakravarti. He has been good for 2 seasons in a row now. That kind of cements his place in the Indian T20 side. He picked up 18 wickets in 17 matches with an average of 24.8 and an economy of 6.58. His economy is one of the best in the tournament. He has been getting really good. The way he varies his length and deliveries has been good as well. If he keeps at it, he should have a great future in the Indian team. Next is Sunil Narayan, the T20 legend. This man always delivers when KKR needs it the most. He played 14 matches and picked up 16 wickets with an economy of 6.44. He has been really hard to score at any stage of the game and picked up wickets when KKR really needed them. Whenever Captain Morgan went to him, it clicked on every occasion. I wonder why he is not in the West Indies World T20 squad, but that's another matter. Special mention to Shubman Gill for some quick-fire runs on the top and Ian Morgan for his captaincy to get them into the finals. Team number 3 is Delhi Capitals. Rishabh Pant took over the reins from Shreyas Iyer when he got injured in the India leg of the tournament. And Pant did do a good job. Under the coaching of Ricky Ponting, the team has come a long way, but they haven't been able to get over the final hurdle to win the tournament. Hopefully, they win in the coming years. I would have gone with the team score of 9, but since they lost in the playoffs, I would give them only 8.5 out of 10. The top players for the team were Shikhar Dhawan. Dhawan was the orange cap holder at the end of the India leg. He was at 360 runs from 8 matches. He ended with 587 runs, the 4th highest in the tournament. The UAE leg wasn't as successful for him, but if you look at the whole tournament, he did a great job and his opening partnership with Prithvi Shah helped Delhi in many occasions. Next is Avesh Khan. He played in all 16 matches and picked up 24 wickets. His average was 18.75 and an economy of 7.37. He was the second highest wicket taker in this tournament. In the previous 3 years of playing IPL, he has picked up only 5 wickets from 9 matches. So this has been the best season for him and he picked some really important wickets. Next is Prithvi Shah. Just like Dhawan, Shah had a great Indian leg as well. He was at 311 runs in 8 matches but ended with 479 runs with an average of almost 32 but an impressive strike rate of 159. He still needs to tune his batting to go big on more occasions. Ponting has really worked with him and that clearly shows, but he still has a long way to go. Special mention to Rishabh Pant for some good power hitting on many occasions towards the end of the innings. Andrich Norgay, who played only the UAE leg of the tournament, he was really good with the ball with a lot of variations, picked up wicket in every match he played with a total of 12 wickets and an economy of 6.16. Team number 4 is Royal Challengers Bangalore. The Virat Kohli led side had a great start to the tournament, winning their first 4 matches. Before the UAE leg started, Virat Kohli announced that this will be the last season for him as the captain of the side. They lost the first 2 games of the UAE leg but came back strong to finish third. I would give them a team score of 8 out of 10. The top players in the team were Harshal Patel. He picked up the purple cap, picking up 32 wickets in 15 matches with an average of 14.34. He picked up wicket in bunches and also picked a hat-trick against Mumbai Indians. He took 1 4 wicket in an innings and also a fifer. Even though he picked up a lot of wickets, his economy was off the roof at 8.15 and over. Next is Glenn Maxwell. Maxwell had a cracker of a season with RCB, even though he had some terrible seasons with Punjab. He scored 513 runs in 15 matches with an average of 42.75. His highest score was 78 and scored 650s in the tournament, a joint highest. Maxwell's batting was key to RCB's success this year. I hope they retain him for the next season. Next is Devdutt Padikkal. He had yet another great season this year, but 2020 was still his best season. He scored 411 runs in 14 matches with an average of 31.61 and strike rate of 126. He scored 150 and also his maiden T20 100 against Rajasthan Royals in the India leg of the tournament. He seems to be maturing as a batter and has a long way to go. Him, along with Shaw and Gaikwad, can be a great combo for the Indian squad. Special mention to Virat Kohli for leading from the front. He batted pretty well as well. His emotional speech after losing to KKR in the eliminator was all heart. Also, KS Bharat for his aggressive batting style and some huge sixers and his match winning innings against Delhi Capital. Team number 5 is Mumbai Indians. This team is known as the late bloomers of IPL every single time. By the end of the India leg, they were still in the hunt for the playoffs. They finished the first leg beating CSK, but started the second leg losing to them, and by the time they picked up some form, it was already too late. They ended up winning only 7 out of their 14 matches and finished 5th. If they had a better net run rate, they could have made it to the playoffs. Their usual heavy hitters, Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav, Ishan Kishan, didn't have a great year, and that was partly the reason why Mumbai Indians were a failure this year. I would give them a team rating of 6.5 out of 10. The top players for the team were Jasprit Bumrah. Bumrah was on fire this season. He picked up 21 wickets in 14 matches. He was the third highest wicket taker of the season, with an average of 19.52 and an economy of 7.45. His economy is really good for T20 cricket, but compared to his economy in previous T20s, this season he was a little expensive. Next is Rahul Chahar. Chahar had another great year. He picked up 13 wickets in 11 matches, average of 24.46 and an economy of 7.39. Chahar was dropped for the match against DC as DC had 5 left-handers, but he never made it back to the team. That could have been a bad move for MI as he was the second highest wicket taker for Mumbai this season, but Mumbai did win 2 out of their 3 last matches, so it doesn't really matter. Special mention to Kieron Pollard, his explosive batting, which is what we expect from him. He single-handedly won the match against CSK in the India leg, scoring 87 not out of just 34 balls. Team 6 is Punjab Kings. Punjab has always been a great team on paper, but they have always been the underachievers year after year. This year was no different for them. The team with the coaching of Anil Kumble can do a lot better, but they come undone, unable to win some easy matches. Could they be called the chokers of IPL, similar to South Africa in the World Cups? They finished 6th, winning 7 out of 14 matches. I would give them a team score of 7 out of 10. Their top players were KL Rahul. KL was the third highest run getter of the season. He was the highest run getter from the league stage. He scored 626 runs in 13 matches at an average of 62.6, strike rate of over 138 and a highest score of 98 not out. He scored 650s in the tournament, the joint highest this year. He rarely had a failure with his bat this season, which was a big plus for Punjab. Next is Mayank Agarwal. Mayank has been on fire in both the first leg and the second leg of the tournament. He didn't play a couple of matches in the second leg due to an injury, but whenever he played, he made an impact with his bat. He scored 444 runs with an average over 40 and a strike rate of over 140. He scored a 99 not out against DC in the India leg but ended up in the losing side. He needs to get more consistent to make it to the Indian limited over side. Next is Mohammad Shami. Shami has had a great year, picking up 19 wickets from 14 matches with an average of 20.78 and an economy of 7.5. He is the 5th highest wicket taker this season. He picked 11 out of his 19 wickets in the UAE leg, which gave Punjab a fighting chance. Special mention to Arshdeep Singh for picking 18 wickets from 12 matches at an average of 19. He is the only left-hand bowler to be in the top 10 wicket takers this season. Team 7 is Rajasthan Royals. Rajasthan haven't had a great season in a long time. almost always finishing in the bottom half of the table. Even though they have some really good young Indian talent, they always fall short of the line. Samson's captaincy has been more like hit or miss. His strategy is not very aggressive, and that could be something he could correct next season. The dropping out of English players from the tournament in the second leg costed Rajasthan more than any team. They finished 7th with 6 wins. I would give them a team score of 6 out of 10. The top players in the team were Sanju Samson. Samson was phenomenal with the bat. He scored 484 runs in 14 matches at an average of 40.33 and a strike rate of 136.72. He scored a massive 119 against Punjab Kings in their first match in the India leg, but was in a losing cause. He scored two 50s and 100 in this tournament, both his 50s coming in the second leg of the tournament. Next is Chris Morris. Morris was the highest wicket taker for RR. He picked up 15 wickets in 11 matches with an average of 26.06, but was very expensive, conceding more than 9.17 an over. He picked 14 out of his 15 wickets in the first leg, but he leaked a lot of runs in the second leg, which resulted in him being dropped for the last 3 matches. But considering his performance in the first leg, he did have a reasonable season. Next is Chetan Shakaria. Shakaria picked up 14 wickets in 14 matches at an average of 30 and an economy of 8.2. He picked up wickets in almost every match. Team number 8 is Sunrisers Hyderabad. SRH had a horrible IPL this year. They didn't really click and were beaten by a high margin every single time. They won only 3 out of their 14 games. They switched captaincy from Warner to Kane Williamson in the middle of the first leg. Even that really didn't help their performance. In spite of having some big international players, it just wasn't their season. I would give them a team score of 3 out of 10 because they had a lot of potential but never played up to it. The top players in the team were Rashid Khan. Rashid picked up 18 wickets in 14 matches at an average of 20.83 and an economy of 6.49. He was very consistent, picking up wickets in every match, and he did play a few cameos with his bat as well. Next is Manish Pandey. Manish Pandey played only 8 out of the 14 games SRH played. He wasn't picked in the beginning of the second leg, but came back in the end and made some great impact. He played in the last 3 matches of the second leg and scored 99 runs of them. In total, he scored 292 runs in 8 matches with an average of 48.66. He was the highest run getter for Sunrisers this season. That covers all the teams. Next year, we have some fresh auction. Let's see how the auctions go, which team gets which players, and how the teams are formed. Who will be replacing Virat Kohli as the captain of RCB? Will Dhoni be playing for CSK, or will he be mentoring the team? There are a lot of questions going into the next season. We'll have to wait for each of them to be answered. Hope you all enjoy the video. Please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on the comments. Please subscribe to our food and travel blog. The link is in the description below. Also check out the links for the rewards and freebies for various services that I use. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, ciao. Have a great week.